Hi everyone, Nubkeks here, and I've got a very quick video for you tonight because we have the PTR notes updated for May the 4th. May the 4th be with you, and they're pretty short and sweet. First up, we've got Balance Druid has got some buffs, kind of buffing up some of the stuff that they'd already buffed or nerfed, so mitigating some of the changes. First up, New Moon and Half Moon damage have been increased by 33%. This is obviously very specifically designed to make the New Moon talent at their top level row or their bottom row in the talent tree more appealing and more enticing, which I think is great. The key thing here, Full Moon has been left out. Why is Full Moon left out? Because Convoke the Spirits can proc Full Moon. So they want to buff the talent but not buff Convoke the Spirits, which I actually think is pretty smart. And also the New Moon talent was definitely undertuned, so I'll be excited to see. It's obviously, this is a great sign that they know that it was undertuned. They know that Fury Valoon was really looking to be the go-to, so they are tuning it. And again, hopefully they're going for that goal of having New Moon be like your single target pick, Fury Valoon being cleave, and then Solstice being for more AoE. The Solstice now causes shooting stars to fall 250% more often, was 300%. So I think they'd actually nerf this down to only 200%, so they've actually buffed it back up to 250%. So this is a bit better now than it was. So again, this is obviously nerfed from where it was on live, but not as bad as we thought it would be. Because they had, I think, over nerfed it a small bit. But yeah, I mean, it's still a passive option. It's still easy to use, easy to make it work. It still has a great synergy with Balance of All Things, even though that was nerfed. But it's still good. And this should, in theory, be an excellent AoE option, right? Because shooting stars triggers whenever your dots do damage. Put your dots on lots of things in multi-target when they're spread out. This should be a great talent for that. And again, it's just they're just tweaking these numbers to refine it, which is good. So they're refining the balance of that talent row, and I think it actually looks pretty solid. Stellar Drift then. This has not been redesigned again, guys, so don't be misled. They've just buffed it slightly. So Starfall damage is increased by 50%. Allows you to cast while moving while Starfall is active, but it has a 15-second cooldown. So yeah, I mean, this is basically what they'd done before, but it had only increased damage by 25%, which is obviously a big DPS loss, right? With a 15-second cooldown, you only have 50% uptime. So if you only get 25% more damage out of it, you're falling way behind. Now, with 50% more Starfall damage, you're still behind, right? You still are behind. It'd have to be, for half uptime, it has to do double damage to equal out on the damage. But the benefits are really twofold. First of all, it's burstier, right? You get 50% more Starfall in that shorter window. It's a burstier AoE ability. So it does less overall total DPS. But hey, oftentimes you pull a pack of mobs and yeah, within the first 10 seconds, half of them are dead. So that burstier AoE does make some sense there. And then, of course, you get the benefit of casting while moving as well. You can spend the astral power you would have spent on the Starfalls on the Star Surges instead. So yeah, they'll have to work out the exact maths on this. But I actually think this is okay. And heck, even if, like I said, even if this is a weaker option in terms of your overall DPS, like if I do a 5-minute sim fighting 5 target dummies that just stand there and they never die and there's always 5 of them and it's consistent and there's no burst windows or anything, then yeah, it might look crap. But when you take the real world scenarios into account, where you might do a big pull in Mythic Plus, there's loads of mobs, there's lots of shit to dodge on the ground, and you want to blow them up as quickly as possible, then yeah, casting while moving and having a bigger burstier Starfall that does less overall DPS, but does more burst DPS, that's a good thing. So yeah, we'll see. For Affliction then, Shadow Embrace. This is now a talent, guys, so it doesn't note it in this patch notes, but this is now a talent. And it's now going to last 16 seconds, up from 12 seconds. They had previously introduced a 1-target limit, but they're now removing it now that they've made Shadow Embrace just a talent. So basically the change is that, what's it called? I can't remember the name, but Dark Glare, Summon Dark Glare, is now a 2-minute cooldown baseline. That is there to replace Shadow Embrace. Shadow Embrace takes its Dark Caller. Shadow Embrace takes Dark Caller's slot on the talent tree. And this is interesting. So they've kind of reverted the playstyle back to live. The idea being here that you can multi-dot things with Shadow's Embrace, right? So if you drain soul on them or you hit them with a few Shadow Bolts, it stacks up to 3 times that Shadow Embrace, which ups the damage that they take from you. So it's like an extra dot effectively to maintain. So that is something that you can talent into. And yeah, that is something that they want you to do. It is going to be significantly easier than it was on live, though. 16 seconds compared to 12 is a lot more forgiving. Maybe it will be fun. I know a lot of Warlocks really, really did not like this 12-second Shadow Embrace and multi-dotting with it. It was very, very intensive in a non-fun way. So we'll see. We'll see how it compares to the other talents. There is then, of course, this new conduit, which was data mined before, to replace the Shadow Embrace conduit. This is Withering Bolt, where Shadow Bolt does 20% more damage per damage over time effect on your target. Drain Soul does 10% more damage per damage over time effect on your target. So this seems very strong. It seems extremely, extremely strong. Sort of expecting this might be nerfed. Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head whether this is nerfed from what they data mined before, but I know for a fact that the data mining and initial, I actually think it was live even. But yeah, this was just nutty. This was like extremely good, especially with like Necrolord, which boosts the damage of your Shadow Bolt. You could do some crazy damage. So yeah, this looks very, very strong. This looks like a really powerful conduit, just mega single target damage out of this. So we'll see if this gets tweaked again. Look, they're refining this stuff. I expect it to be refined some more. I think it's a pretty fun conduit. We'll see. Dungeons and Raids. Mythic Plus rating is an in-game scoring system based off of personal performance in Mythic Plus dungeons, which is interesting. And there's going to be more information available on mouse over tooltips for group creators and for group applicants. So yeah, I haven't actually looked at this one too much in detail yet myself, but I'm definitely curious. Again, the implementation is really the question for me. How good is the scoring system, this personal performance thing? Is it good? Is this effective? It's good that they're adding more stuff, more info. That's good. But sort of the general idea for me, is it good to add a Mythic Plus rating system? My opinion is that it's already in the game with Raider.io, right? Raider.io, that add-on has dominated the game since Legion, right? Really since Mythic Plus came out. Basically, everyone has it these days. It affects groups at literally every single level. Mythic Plus rating is already solidly in the game in form of an add-on. They needed to have banned it like years and years ago to stop it, really. So it's too late. So yeah, I think having an actual in-game scoring version, like an in-game one, is just fine. So yeah. Like I said, if we didn't want a score system like this, it would have had to be stamped out ages ago. Okay, Shards of Domination then are new. Select gear that is dropped in Sanctum of Domination can be enhanced by Shards of Domination, which can be found from defeating bosses in the Sanctum of Domination. So we'll have to check that out. I'll do another video looking at that. So this is still in development and will be updated. So I don't know, this seems very early on. It's going to change a lot. But I do think that could be kind of fun. And I do believe that the idea is that these effects would be mostly powerful in the raid, that they'd be really, really reduced outside of the raid. That is their intent, according to Ian. So we'll see if that is actually panning out or if it will be exploited for like PvP and dungeons and stuff and be kind of a burden. We'll see. Bunch of player versus player changes, which I am not qualified to think about or to talk about. Both. We also have new legendary powers for demon hunters and paladins. I'm probably going to do just a big mega video looking at like a few specs at a time with their covenant powers and all of that sort of stuff. So I'm kind of waiting to do this, but I will obviously do videos on these legendary powers soon. We have more dailies in the Maw in Korthia, which is kind of boring, and more rares and treasures to discover in Korthia. So they're just adding this stuff in slowly and surely, which is good. And there you go, guys. That is the patch. It's a relatively small patch, I think, but with some nice actually class changes. I think these are good. It's obviously not a lot of class changes, but I think they're a decent set. Hopefully next week will be a bit more substantial. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.